This is going to be part 2 of our P2-P3 review. Again, you can turn your cameras off if you want to. I just need you to come right back on as soon as I ask you to, okay? All right, so we're going to start here on, remember we left off on 89, so now we're going to start on 9, 13, the highlighted one. And if I'm going too fast, let me know, but I just want to make sure I get through everything. So stop me if you have questions. I don't think you guys will have as many questions today as you did yesterday. But it says the type, degree, and terms of the polynomial. I want you guys to tell me the stuff, okay? Let's go here. First of all, look at this. Is this in standard form? Yes, the highest exponent is first. So we are in standard form. We're good. So if I asked you guys what the leading coefficient is, you would tell me it's what?
5.
The leading coefficient is 5, okay? So what's the degree of this polynomial?
3.
Third degree. Very good, guys. And if I asked you how many terms there were, you would tell me there's how many terms?
2.
2 terms. And what do we call something that has 2 terms?
Binomial.
Perfect. All right, good, very good. So if I look at this one, are we in standard form?
No.
No, let's rewrite it in standard form. I'd have negative x to the 4th, right? Plus x cubed minus x squared plus x. How do I know what signs go with what? Well, whatever is in front of the term, the sign goes with it. So now that I'm in standard form, I can say that my leading coefficient is what number? Negative 1, good. And my degree is what?
4.
4. This has 4 terms, so we would call it a polynomial. You guys with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, adding and subtracting. Adding and subtracting is as easy as it looks. The only thing you have to check, though, is the sign in the middle before you start combining like terms. If it is a minus sign, you have to remember that this negative has to be distributed to everything in the second parenthesis before you can combine like terms. So I would say, okay, I still have my 2x squared minus 5x from my first parenthesis, and now I'm going to distribute that negative. So I have negative x squared, positive 8x, negative 3. Really important that you do that, guys, because if you don't, you're going to get your answer wrong because you're going to combine like terms with the wrong signs. So now you start with the biggest exponent. I have a 2x squared, and I have a negative x squared. 2 minus 1 gives me x squared. I have a negative 5x and a positive 8, so negative 5 plus 8 gives me plus 3x, and then I have minus 3. Questions? We okay? Everybody all right? All right.
Yeah.
Number 21, same thing. I have to I have to distribute that negative first before I can go combine anything. If you have a plus sign in the middle, just add away. Combine like terms. But before I do that, I have to say, okay, this is the same as, I can rewrite 5x cubed plus 4x squared minus 3x. And then I'm going to distribute this negative 1. So what that does is it changes the signs of everything. So I have minus x squared minus 7x minus 2. The biggest exponent is x to the 3rd. There's no other x to the 3rd, so I'm just going to rewrite 5x cubed. And then I have a positive 4x squared and a negative x squared. 4 minus 1 gives me positive 3x squared. Negative 3x, negative 7x gives me negative 10x, and then I have minus 2. Questions? Be real careful, guys, if that's a multiple choice question, that you pay attention to the signs, because it's real easy to get those confused. All right, in this case, guys, yes, talk to me, of multiple choice and free response. It's not all multiple choice. Okay, so now looking at this one, guys, number 25, we have a monomial times a binomial. All we're doing is distributing. I'm going to distribute here and here. Remember, when we have like bases and we're multiplying, you add exponents. So x squared times x gives me x to the third, and x squared plus 3 gives me plus 3x squared, and then we're done. In 29, we have to do what first? Do I combine like terms first, or do I distribute first? Yep, we're going to distribute first. I'm going to distribute here, and then I'm going to distribute this, and then we can combine like terms. So r times r squared gives me r cubed. R times negative 9 is negative 9r. Then I have a plus. 3r squared times 2r, well, 3 times 2 is 6, and r squared times r is r cubed. And then 3r squared minus 1 gives me minus 3r squared. Everybody agree? So when I combine like terms, the biggest exponent I see is r cubed, so I'm going to rewrite that as r cubed. Then I have a, just kidding, I don't know why I just did that. I have r cubed and what? R cubed
Negative.
and a plus 6r cubed, right? Yes?
Oh yeah, so 7r cubed.
Yes, thank you. 7r cubed. 7r cubed. And then I have minus 3r squared minus 9r. See how I just made a silly mistake because I wasn't paying attention? Be careful with that. All right, you guys okay? You got this part?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now moving on, here we go. What are we doing in 33? Are we adding and subtracting?
Foiling.
We're foiling, we're multiplying. So we go x times x is x squared. X times 5, 5x. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 5, negative 15. What can I do here in the middle? I can combine those like terms. So I'm left with x squared. 5 minus 3 gives me positive 2x minus 15. Same thing for 37. Guys, I'm going to rewrite mine with x's just because my t's look like plus signs. So 3 times 7 is going to give me 21x squared. 3 and negative 4 gives me negative 12x. Negative 2 and 7 gives me negative 14x. And negative 2 and negative 4 gives me positive 8. Again, I just changed the x's, I changed the t's to x's because of my handwriting. So I have 21x squared. I can combine these in the middle. Negative 12 and negative 14 gives me negative 26x plus 8. Questions? Everybody's okay? All right, 41, we got x's and y's. No big deal. We're still going to FOIL. X times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative y is negative xy. 3y times 2x is plus 6xy. Some of you are going to say, well, what happens if I write it yx? That's fine. But on a multiple choice test, or if they're asking you to write something in standard form, whatever, you always write the variables in alphabetical order. And then lastly, I have 3y times negative y gives me negative 3y squared. And again, I can combine here. So I have 2x squared. If I have a negative 1xy and a positive 6xy's, that gives me plus 5xy minus 3y squared. How are we doing?
Good.
Okay. Special products. It says use the special products formula. Guys, you don't have to use the special products formula. What does 5x plus 1 quantity squared really mean?
5x plus 1 times 5x plus 1.
Perfect. If you know the pattern, fantastic. If you don't, no big deal. FOIL it. 5x times 5x, 25x squared. 5x times 1 plus 5x. 1 times 5x plus 5x. 1 times 1 is 1. What do we do with the stuff in the middle? Combine like terms. So 25x squared plus 10x plus 1. (49), exact same thing. 2u plus v times 2u plus v. I'm going to do my best with my handwriting here. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4u squared plus 2u times v is 2uv. 2v times 2u is 2uv. And v times v is v squared. Again, same thing. We're going to combine like terms in the middle. So 4u squared plus 4uv plus v squared. How are we doing?
Would we have to put like the v squared first or no?
No.
Because like.
How come?
Because of the standard form thing.
But u comes before v in the alphabet.
Yeah, but I thought like the v squared would come in, like would be put in the middle.
Oh, you mean like here?
Yeah.
No. You can leave it just like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but you can leave it like that. I mean, if you wrote it like that, it's no big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, 53? Okay, so x squared plus 1 times x squared plus 1. It's x squared plus 1, quantity squared. So we're going to multiply x squared times x squared gives me x to the 4th. X squared times 1 gives me plus x squared. 1 times x squared gives me 1x squared. And 1 times 1 is 1. So I have x to the 4th. Combine the stuff in the middle. I have 2 x squareds. And then I add 1. (57) is the sum and difference. If you see the pattern, fantastic. If you don't, no worries. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times positive 4 is plus 12x. Negative 4 and 3x is minus 12x. Negative 4 and positive 4 is minus 16. So what happens here in the middle with those two terms? They do what?
Cancel out.
They cancel out. Good. Uh-oh, we have a radical. This is going to make this problem so incredibly difficult. Just kidding. Square root of x times the square root of x is actually the square root of x squared. So what happens when you square and you have the same root?
Cancel.
They cancel out. So I have x, then I have square root of x and minus 2, so minus 2 root x. Then I have 2 times root x is positive 2 root x, and then I have 2 times negative 2 is what? What's 2 times negative 2? Negative 4. Okay, what happens here in the middle? Those two cancel out, so you're left with x minus 4.
Do we have something like that on the quiz with radicals in the problem?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe, baby. That's why we're going over it, just in case. All right, what does this mean? 1 minus 2r cubed.
You do it 3 times.
You do it 3 times. That's it. So I'm going to say 1 minus 2r times 1 minus 2r times 1 minus 2r. I always rewrite the first one and then FOIL the second two. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 2r is negative 2r. Negative 2r times 1 is a negative 2r. Negative 2r times negative 2r is positive 4r squared. Combine these two in the middle. So you have, I'll go over here, 1 minus 2r times 1 minus 4r plus 4r squared. And now we just distribute. First term to everything in the second parenthesis. So you have 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative 4r is negative 4r. 1 times 4r squared is plus 4r squared. Now I say negative 2 times 1 is negative 2r. Negative 2r times negative 4r is positive 8r squared. And negative 2r times 4r is negative 8r cubed. And we have to put this in standard form. My highest exponent comes first, so I have negative 8r cubed. I have a positive 4r squared and a positive 8r squared gives me positive 12r squareds. Negative 4r and a negative 2r gives me negative 6r. And then I have plus 1. Again, guys, if you don't like using r's or s's or t's, that's fine. Just change it to x's and y's. Does not matter to me at all. All right, moving along, moving along. This is just a big multiplying problem, 69. I'm going to write it up here so I can have a little more room. So 2x minus 5. And then I have x squared minus x plus 1. X squared minus x plus 1. Take your time, use colors, do whatever you have to do to keep yourself in order. But I'm going to say first term into everything. So 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. 2x times negative x is negative 2x squared. 2x times 1 is plus 2x. Negative 5 times x squared is negative 5x squared. Negative 5 times negative x is positive 5x. And negative 5 times 1 is minus 5. We okay? You guys good?
Yeah.
Okay, biggest exponent you see is x cubed, so I'm going to rewrite 2x cubed. I don't have to worry about it. So I have a negative 2x squared and a negative 5x squared. Gives me what?
Negative. No.
Negative 7x squared, good. Okay, so here I have a positive 2x and a positive 5x gives me? And then minus 5. You guys are good at this. What's up? Question? Okay, last bit. We're almost done. Oh, geez. Should we just quit?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fractions. Just forget it. Just skip this one, guys. If you get, just skip it. Just get it wrong, okay? No, we're not doing that. If we're multiplying the same bases, come on, sillies. If we're multiplying the same bases, what do we do to the exponents? You add them. So this is 1/3 and 2/3. MJ, what'd you say?
Wait, no, never mind.
Okay. So now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say plus y, and I add the exponents again. 1/3 plus 5/3. Do I leave it looking funny like that? No. This becomes y to the 3/3 plus y to the 6/3. What is 3 over 3?
1.
So it's y plus, what's 6 divided by 3?
2.
2, so y plus y squared. Is that written in standard form?
I'm gonna say
No.
yes.
So just flip it, y squared plus y. Just because you see fractions, don't just be like, oh, forget it. I'm not doing it. Don't do that. You guys are in high school. You're big kids. Let's go.
But this one was easy because the denominators were the same.
So if they weren't the same, what do you have to do? Get a common denominator. No sweat.
That sounds like a lot of work.
You're going to put in the work, MJ. All right, here we go. X times x gives me x what? X squared times x squared gives me x to the 4th. Good. X squared times a squared just gives me plus x squared a squared. Negative a squared and positive x squared gives me negative x squared a squared. You can also write it a squared x squared. A squared x squared, doesn't matter. I know they're going to cancel out. That's why I didn't change the order of them. And then I have a negative a squared and a positive a squared gives me negative a to the 4th. What happens here in the middle? They're exactly opposites, so they cancel out. And I'm left with x to the fourth minus a to the fourth. Standard form, if you wanted to, you could write it negative a to the fourth plus x to the fourth. But you can keep it like that if you can keep it with x first if you want, because that's how it was in the problem. But either one of these will work. Yes, ma'am.
On the quiz, can we write difference of two squares as like a work?
Sure.
So you know.
So I know that you know what you're doing? Absolutely. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. 81. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative x to the 2/3 is just negative x to the 2/3. X to the 2/3 times 1 is positive x to the 2/3. And then x to the 2/3 and x to the 2/3, oh my gosh, what does that equal? Negative x to the what? 4/3, because we added 2/3 and 2/3. What happens here in the middle? These cancel out, so you're just left with 1 minus x to the 4/3. No problemo. Is this the last one? Oh my gosh, it is. All right, we're gonna do this last one and then we are finito. Any questions you have, I will answer. So, 85, it's 2x plus y minus 3, 2x plus y plus 3, okay? 2x plus y plus 3. Guys, real easy to get confused, mix up signs, all that stuff. So keep organized as much as you can. Take this first term and go into everything in the second term. Multiply it into everything. So I have 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times y is plus 2xy. 2x times 3 is plus 6x. Now I'm going to do the same thing with y. So I'm going to go here. Y times 2x is plus 2xy. Y times y is plus y squared. And y times 3 is plus 3y. Everybody okay? So now negative 3. Negative 3 times 2x is minus 6x. Negative 3 times y is minus 3y. And negative 3 times positive 3 is minus 9. Lots of cleaning up to do here, but that's okay. All right, 4x squared. Do you see anything else that has just plain old x squared? No, so I'm going to rewrite 4x squared. Now just move from left to right. Don't worry about putting anything in any order right now. Just move left to right. I have a positive 2xy here, and I have a positive 2xy here. Is there any other xy's? No, so I have plus 4xy. All right, okay, now just moving left to right. I have a positive 6x and a negative 6x. What happens there?
Cancel.
They cancel out, okay, they're gone. All right, moving left to right, I got a y squared. Anything else have y squared? Nope. All right, negative 3y, positive 3y. Negative 3y, positive 3y.
Cancels out.
Cancels out, thank you. And I'm left with minus 9. There we go. Don't worry about crazy order and all that kind of stuff. So now this is part 2 of your review. It is done. I'm going to